I'll do the timekeeping. Do the timekeeping.
Okay.
But what's the difference between the human timekeeping and the other one?
The difference is okay, Jay. The difference is when you actually the topic of the session, when you track it down, that is actually organize a human timekeeper, and organization timekeeper is the total time
So
of
just the start and the finish.
yeah, start and finish time.
Okay.
So, yeah, so let's say we have a topic that's going to last for 20 minutes or 24 minutes, right? If we're going to take a break at the bottom of the hour for the humans so that we can just stop and take a break, but then the organizational topic time stops and pauses while we're taking a break, and then when we come back, maybe we'll have 10 minutes left. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's enough.
So organizational, I mean, human timekeeping is stretching, pauses, breaks. Organizational timekeeping is the time for each topic.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together.
Check
1,
in.
3. Exhale. Relax.
So, what's going on?
Yeah, can you guys check in?
Okay, I'll check in. I am a 2.25, and I've been working a lot on the budget to try to get it organized with no avail. I've also been dealing with the fork and attempting to get anyone to do some actual work. I'm not really sure what's going on overall, but hopefully we can figure something out today. It's a little disappointing that the vast majority of the leadership and the people actually even attempting to do work is not here. So except for Moon, so that's good. But it just shows the divide and the disagreement in the organization right now. Is really...
Joyce is here.
Oh look, Joyce showed up. Great. That's good. Well, at least we got Joyce here. That's good. But no, okay, no, we see. Check.
Okay, who's going next?
Everyone's showing up now. Excellent.
I'd like to go next.
Okay, it's Oma.
It's Benjamin.
Okay, sorry. Oma. Okay, Benjamin.
Should I type whilst I say
Hello?
it? Do that.
No, we can type for you.
All right, 2.5.
We can type for you, yeah.
Come at the 2. And I'm here because I would like to talk more about my issue with my absence, if you remembers.
Joyce.
I'd like to go next.
Oma. Okay.
I'd like to go next.
Okay, Oma.
I'm at 2.3. I've been trying to work on the multimedia, but
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
but again, it's really difficult to understand what's really going on. I've been working on multimedia and also my MBT with the Gloria, but it's been a challenge really understanding what's going on, and it's also been a challenge if I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I just don't understand. Let me just hope for a great session today. Yeah, and maybe I'll have something to contribute in between.
Okay. Joyce, Gloria.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm at the 1.9 and been working on the past uh, work I did was budget setup, removals, and main session, old world main session, and BT session also with them.
Gloria.
Okay, I'm at 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on project taxes. Yeah, check.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm at 3.5. Been working on recruitment, taxes, and monthly goals. Check.
Okay. What should we focus on? Did everyone check in? Maybe we should start with Benjamin and just answer his questions.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Should we start with Benjamin?
All right. So Jay,
Wait. We do not have agreement yet. You have to see if there's objections or if anyone else supports the first topic.
Okay.
Otherwise, we don't have
All right.
agreement. We're trying to get agreement on the topic right now.
Yeah, no objection.
Are you guys agree to have a topic on Benjamin?
No objection.
No objection from me.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Let's do topic 1.
Can I go ahead?
No, wait.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Benjamin, it's your turn.
Benjamin?
Where's Benjamin?
I'm here.
Benjamin?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk now.
All right. So before I left for the leave, I spoke to Jay about an emergency I had concerning my time schedule, and it ended up with me having more to focus on my issue rather than the organization. And he assured me that I can take leave and after some time I should come back with the outcome of my issue, and that's what I'm here. So the long and short of this is that right now the issue I'm facing will take all my time, and I'm not sure I'll be able to have time for the work over here. So I would like if there could be a termination or something of my contract, if possible.
Time to
Yeah, I mean,
pause.
you can.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So you're just asking to do the termination of the contract
I,
right
I,
now.
yeah, I can't hear you.
You just want me to terminate the contract right now.
Yes, due to
Okay.
the issue we spoke about. All right.
I don't know if you really needed to. Okay. I don't know if you really needed to wait for a session to tell us that could be done asynchronously, but yeah, I can easily find you and then terminate the contract immediately right now if that's what you're requesting. I think you can. I think you can actually terminate it on your side too.
So I can do my.
But if there's,
I thought that this would be the appropriate way.
Yeah.
Out of respect for you and organization as well.
Totally. Benjamin David A, right? Is that you?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, if that's it, I mean, that's fine. So maybe we should move on to the next topic. Did you want to check out as well, or what?
Yeah.
Thank you, Benjamin.
You're welcome.
for your presence.
Once again, thank you very much.
Yeah, you
Thank
take
you.
care.
Bye.
Hello.
Okay, so we go to the next topic. I don't know why Benjamin didn't just mention that on Discord or whatever, but it's fine. So he's just being very, very professional. So shall we go into a budget discussion? Or do we have anything else we want to talk about, or what's the next step?
Jay, for me, I feel we need to talk about something going on in the in the Discord channels, because it's like every situation is just leading into a contention. Like you just feel like you don't even need to say anything. Like, what will you contribute? Contributing to another contention, which will also cause another contention, all time and again. Really, what's happening? What's happening? How do you work in such an environment? It's really somehow challenging. If we can talk about it,
Time
then
for breath. Please
it's
stop.
just a matter of
Now inhale. 1,
scheduling with who,
3.
if
Exhale.
everybody.
1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3.
Like that.
Exhale. Relax.
Yes, if we want to talk about contention, this is typically our contentious session, our weekly contentious session, but of course no one's doing any work, so no one's prioritizing it, no one's doing any reminders, no one's doing any sessions, so it's like no one even bothered to mention the contentious session. So if we want to do contention, we certainly can. And we can also vote on our topics. We did Benjamin already. Do that. So do we want to just vote on our priority topics and see if we can get some more clarity on what we want to focus on? Are there any other topics? We also do non-violent communication. Okay, so I guess we're voting. No one's really talking right now. It's silent.
Yeah, voting day.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So I think we are all in agreement doing the budget discussion first and then going into some of the contention.
Yeah.
Okay, I can copy the link, copy the information.
So do we even have agreement on topic 2 or what's going on? Does anyone want to step up for facilitation? Doesn't seem like much is
Yeah.
going on. A lot of silence.
Okay. So budget discussion is going to be our next topic. Do we have the agreement?
No
Yeah, we
objection.
have an agreement.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Voted.
I could get started. I would just say that I reviewed all the tallying information. It's very clear that there's no agreement on the back pay. There's no agreement on the budgets to the point where it's just not even clear.
Time
Like,
to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
all right. Well, I guess we should take a break. But I guess I just finished the status update, which is that there's not even clarity on any budget option that's even really favorable because they're all so bad. And I would say the team is sort of pushing obviously this $8,000 plus budget. So maybe that one has a slight higher support than all the other budgets. But anyways, that's all I've noticed. But anyways, let's take a break. When we come back, we can get more into the discussion on the budget.
Okay, 5 minutes break.
And let's
I'm also
continue.
adding 2 additional topics, which is back pay and payroll.
Please, can anyone hear me? I can't hear anything.
Yes, we are on break.
Oh,
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back.
So I mean, I guess I can continue if no one else wants to go.
Yeah, we can continue.
That anyone's gonna be taking notes, but um, bottom line for me, in my personal opinion, is that an organization without a budget is no organization at all. That's why our old policies with that no budget, no pay, everything stops. With the new model, we keep going for a month, so everyone gets paid for the entire month, regardless of the budget. Um, I don't think anyone is working on the budget at this time. No one's prioritizing the budget. Nothing's really moving forward with the budget, unless I'm the one pushing it and moving it forward. Um, we need to figure out a compromise. We need to figure out something like I don't think it's appropriate having to be paying $8,000 for like little to no client work has gotten done in almost a month. Like 3.5 months. So I feel like the $8,000 budget is kind of tight. Yeah. I guess since no one's saying anything, I'll say one more thing, which is that in relationship to the contention, you can have a group of people that all completely hate each other. You still need a budget. Check.
Anyone wants to say anything?
Time to pause.
I'd
Please
like
stop.
to ask a
Close
question.
your eyes.
Anyone wants to say anything?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I would like to ask a question, Mama.
Sure.
Um, Jeff, please, can we know the what compromise, the type of compromise you would want us to agree on?
Did anyone understand the question? I didn't understand.
Yeah, I understand the question. She's asking that what type of compromise you are asking to do for budget.
Is that the question?
Yeah, that is the question.
Yes,
Is that right?
Okay. Um,
yes.
let me see here. So we have the 5 budget options. I personally am perfectly fine with just ending the budget. I mean, if people don't want to do work, I mean, we haven't done any work. Like, it's been like little to no client work in almost a month. I mean, and if you count all of the work, it's like less than 5 hours of client work. I mean, it's just a joke. It's like obviously no one wants to be here, no one wants to do work. So it's like let's just end the budget and just all go our own ways and just move on with our lives. So that would be one side on the extreme. Just a $0 budget and just get over with the inevitable. If no one wants to do work, everyone wants maximum pay, then let's just end it and then focus on just getting everyone paid for their previous payrolls, make sure everyone gets paid for their fair worker output, and then we're done. We can just move on, right? It's like no work's happening, right? So on the extreme side, everyone wants $8,000 plus with $2,490 of back pay and a total budget of $8,000 plus, and there's no work happening. It's just mind-blowingly insane. So a compromise is somewhere in between. Basically, $0 firing everybody, which is what's going to happen on April 8th, and $8,000 for like no work getting done, and everyone wanting to triple and quadruple their pay, or double, triple, and quadruple their pay.
Mm,
So on one side you have $8,000 plus as an extreme, and on the other side you have $0. So
Time for breath.
let's find a
Please
compromise
stop
between
and
the two.
get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
You understand what a compromise is, Gloria? Did I answer your question or no?
Yes, you did. Can I make a comment on that? Can I say something?
Sure, 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 sure.
An open discussion.
Okay.
100%.
Um, yeah, yeah. What I have to say is, since for the budget to be okay, uh, for the budget to be balanced for the next month, um, from the options, um, I can see that there's need for some workers to go so that we can have a budget that will be enough for the workers. Um, okay, so I'll just say in all of this that have been going on as a new hire, we've not even had the time to really focus and understand what the work is because of the contentions, because of the issues.
mm,
It's been confusing, it's been draining because it's negative, and you find out that it's difficult for you to concentrate on any other thing because it has been draining. We've not been doing much. I know we've spent barely a month, so we've not been able to do much or even understand what's going on. Um, So I know there are workers that have been here for years and they know the how to go about the work. They can do the work and they've been here, they've been with FQN for long. So I would say the first compromise, I'm going to initiate it. That would be um, to sacrifice and leave so that the old workers can continue and then the budget will be enough for them because they've been here. I'm just a month, I don't even know most of the work, and the contention have not allowed me to understand what's going on. So I'll sacrifice to leave so that the organization can move forward. Um, I
Time to
will
pause.
just ask,
Please stop. Close
I'll
your
just
eyes.
ask
Count
to
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
so I'll just ask for um I've put in the reimbursement for my internet and electricity. The back pay can stay with the company, the hours I've worked. If the company feels like they want to pay the base, fine. If they can't afford it right now because everybody's talking that the budget is at zero, fine. If they want to give me the one as base pay I've worked for, I also applied for exemption, but if it's not possible at this point, I don't mind because it has been draining and I want my peace. I want to focus on other things, and so, and there's no way old workers will go. They've been with the company and they've been doing well and they know the work. So if I can even get just my reimbursement of my electricity, my internet, off work charge, and I'll be fine. So I'll just sacrifice the rest so that the organization can move forward. So that's what I have to say. Check.
In that line, I'd also like to contribute. Mm, can I continue?
Yeah, sure. Omar.
Yeah, I'm on the. I've also been here as a new worker. I've really been trying to adapt with a lot of things, but there's been too much contention for sure, to an extent that you don't know, am I in the wrong place? Am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the correct thing? Who should I schedule with? Who should I not schedule with? At what time should I schedule? Who will be available? And how should I do it? And how will I even get my data? How will I get internet connection? How will I pay for my electricity? How will I pay for where I stay? I'm here working. At the same time, I also read somewhere, Jay, there's some time back when you wrote that you'd rather lose a new worker than a worker who has been there for 5 years, so who you've already trained. And that one was really sounded like somehow dissatisfying. But if there's contention with even the old workers, what about me as a new worker? How will I even adapt into the place? How will I adapt? If you have to request for money, it has to be called back pay. Like for me, I've been here for a month. Right now, for a few days, I've not even been available. I had to work on a lot of things. I needed a lot of things. You need to pay your rent. You need to pay a lot of things. What you are paid, you
Time to stretch.
can't even pay for a single thing.
And stretch your
And you
knees
feel like,
around for
should you
30
be,
seconds.
are you in the right place? Like, what should you be doing? Well, personally, I would not like to quit. I'm not asking to quit, but I'm just like asking for the right direction. Where, like, what is that client work? Who should you schedule with, and what are you scheduling? The only person who has been taking me through in a much clear way, it has been Lucy, and for now, she has not been there. And I've really struggled since she has not been there. I've really been struggling. There's very little I've been able to learn, except for the MBT which we already discussed with her, and she told me how to do it, and I asked Gloria if we can do it, but so sad to hear that she is again quitting, but I still see how to do it. But my concern is right now, I really need money for the bills. Where is this money? I was told I've not taken even a month yet, and the money I was sent is just about something like $40. How will I even pay bills with $40? Surely, the much I have received is just $26. Not even network will cater for that. I only paid for Kana Premium, which I can only withdraw twice in a month. Like it's just a challenge. Jay, we are really. It's been a struggle as a new worker. I've been struggling a lot, very much, and I don't know if you'd consider just remaining with the old workers or you consider also having the new workers get to link up with we new workers having challenge. How will you help the new workers who are coming in, who are already like this is what they're looking up to? Now that I also heard that attending the main sessions is not required and there are not hours to be tracked. And then I'm again asking myself, which hours are we to track, and what is this client work? And is it not that you're scheduling with somebody and you'll be in a session, whether it is buddy team or the MB team, whatever, it will still be a session. Is it necessary that you track that one? And if it's necessary that you track that one, which hours are you tracking? Which specific hours are you tracking? That will be paid. They really a challenge understanding all that. That's why at some point I just took my time, just stayed silent and said, what is going on? Lucy is the one who has been trying to take me through, and I was really trying to understand a few things. I hope I can cope up, but for now, I'm really in a tough situation. To an extent, even attending a session like this, it's really a challenge because you don't know if the hours are being tracked at the same time you're using data. Right here, right now, it's 12:43 a.m., a time that you should be sleeping, but you're sacrificing that sleep so that you
Time
can
to pause.
attend the
Please stop.
session, so that you can
Your
learn
eyes.
something. But again, you are
1,
told these
2,
hours
3,
are
4,
not important.
5.
You should not
Open
be
your
paid for
eyes.
just sitting in a session. And again, I've attended a session where we are doing what I don't know if it's client work or it's internal work. I don't know. But at the same time, you're just attending a session, just contributing the same way you are contributing in the main session. Then what is it that I'm supposed to do? There's really much I need to understand. But for now, I need money to solve my situation. If the hours I've worked, I really need to get to know how much should I expect, how much am I going to pay? $26, $40. That I received from Backpay, because some of them were deducted by Okana. That one can't even sustain anything. I've not even been able to withdraw it, struggling to even get data, even to get a zero point 0.5 US dollars so that you can buy even data that can sustain you for 2 hours or 3 hours to be in a session. It's really a challenge. It's been so hard. For me as a new worker, it's been a challenge for sure. I'm not asking to quit, but I'm more asking for direction and how have we been taking care of if really we are supposed to be here. And if I'm requested to leave, well, I'll also consider that as an option for sure. I'd really consider it, because you already said you'd rather lose a new worker than a worker who has been there and you trained for years. Yes, which is understandable. They already know how to do work, contrary to me. And I'd really consider that as well, if that one will work best for the company. But for the hours I've worked, if there is any amount that should be paid to me, I'd consider having that as well. That's all I can say. Checked.
Jay, do you want to reply back?
I'll reply when it's my turn again. I can reply to everyone. Unless you want me. I mean, there wasn't any specific question for
Okay,
me that I
anyone
remember.
wants to add anything? Um, Joyce, then Jay. Yeah, Joyce. Do you want to add anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay.
Mamu, do you want to go first or should I go?
Okay, I'll go next. Okay. So, uh, in my opinion, I don't know what to say, but uh, I know everybody needs
Time
uh,
for breath.
some
Please stop and
sort
get
of.
ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
So everybody have a different urgency for money. Everybody has their own purpose, you know. But we have to look for the organization as well. Mm. Let's be. I don't know how to be fair on this, but let's see what happens. Check.
All right, I think it's my turn again.
Yeah.
Um, so as far as Benjamin goes, Benjamin obviously not really working, he was on leave and has trouble communicating and putting things in writing. He specifically asked for his Upwork contract to be canceled. Did it in real time. It was all shared, everything was, and that's what he wanted. So I did it. But technically speaking, under our policies, the Upwork contract itself is irrelevant. What matters is the agreement and the budget. So if Benjamin wanted to continue to work, he could just come back and start working, and he hasn't actually resigned, right? And we could reset the contract with Upwork and we could pay him. That's not a problem, right? But if he doesn't want to work, he doesn't want to work. But if you really want to resign from the organization, then you need to put it in writing, right? So saying that you want to resign is not enough. If you want me to end your contract, I can end the contract, but that doesn't really mean you're resigning. That just means that we ended your Upwork contract, which basically is meaningless. It's just a method of payment. right? It's not the budget, and it's not your actual agreement with the organization, right? And your pop, right? So in the context of, but we still need to follow the contract with Upwork as well as the contracts and agreements with the organizations. They're all equally as important, right? They just mean different things. So that's primarily for Gloria, that if you do want to resign, that you need to put it in writing. Otherwise, it's fine to say whatever you want, but if it's not in writing, we can't actually take action on it. In the context of UMA, my first question would be obviously like, how many sessions have you scheduled with me? Period. And I mean, maybe 1, 2 sessions, and like the one I remember scheduling, you literally like didn't even show up. And in the last week, I don't think you've tried at all to schedule with me at all.
I
So I think it's
did,
really good that you mentioned of Lucy. In my
when
experience, Lucy.
well, I
Trying
think
to
I
talk.
communicated
Please stop.
that.
Close your eyes.
I
Count.
communicated later on that I had
4.
to take my brother
Open
to
your
the
eyes.
hospital, and actually, when I was there, I didn't have any data, so that's why I was not available during that session. I did communicate.
After the fact. But either way, the point is that then you didn't schedule again. You should schedule every single day, constantly, nonstop, and that's the way to learn. If you're not scheduling, you're not actively in sessions, you're not
Uh,
learning, right? So,
uh, let me say the uncertainty of me having a consistent, a stable internet so that I can be available for the session completely is what's really a challenge for me to schedule anything. I'm not sure if
I mean,
tomorrow morning I'll be able to have that internet to be there. So what if I schedule tomorrow morning, then I don't have that internet? Then it will be a challenge again, or even I've
yeah,
not
of
paid the
course,
electricity.
of
Again, it will
course.
be a
So,
challenge.
absolutely, yeah. So, in our old model, the system cared people can work or not. You don't work, you don't get paid. You work, you get paid. It wasn't a big deal. In the new model, everyone gets paid regardless. So if I was hiring people in the new model, right? Like we do interviews, and the question is, do you have stable internet? For me, stable internet means no
Can't
reimbursement. Your internet is
can't hear
always
you
working
clearly, Jay.
24 hours a day. Can I just finish? I don't
Yeah,
understand. That's some
I
questions. I'm
can't
just
hear
trying to.
you clearly.
Did anyone else hear me?
yeah, but you are
You are
not
not clear,
clear,
Jay.
Jay.
You can't
It's
hear.
not clear.
All right. Well, I can switch if you want. You can't hear me. But
Now you're clear enough.
you say you can hear me now or not?
Yeah, now it's better. Better.
Maybe. Anyways, in relationship to the wait, can you hear me or not?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I'll
clear.
give it a try again.
We can
I'm trying
hear
to
you.
get this other connection started. But anyways, the bottom line is that in relationship to um, the internet and everything, it's like if in our old model it didn't matter if people could work or not, you just don't get paid if you can't work, whatever. It's like not a big deal. But in the new model, everyone gets paid regardless. So it's like the bottom line is if I was doing an interview and you asked the question, does your internet work, right? For me, that's like, no needs for reimbursement. Your internet is always working 24 hours a day, and it's functional and it sounds good and it's clear and it's connected, right? Like for me, that is functional internet, right? So you
Time to
do an
take a
interview with
break.
someone,
Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
and they say they have perfect internet, and then you find out after you hire them that really they don't, and they're not able to communicate, right? So I mean, if we're hiring new people, maybe what we would want to hire is people who actually have functional internet 24 hours a day and they don't need a bunch of reimbursement, right? That would make a lot of sense, right? So it's not the
The,
organization's fault that if a worker doesn't have a connection. There are billions of people across the world who literally don't have internet at all. We can't hire them, and it's
the
not our
case
problem,
here, the case
right? If
here
they
is that the
can't
case here is
hire,
that we subscribe
Uma,
this.
Uma, allow him to finish.
I
Allow
subscribe
him to
internet.
finish,
I
Uma.
subscribe
Allow
internet
him to
every
finish.
month, and I've been here for more than a month. I need to resubscribe. I've been here for more than that month. Then if you say, and for that month that
Uma,
you
allow him to
spend with
finish,
Let
then we
let
can go
let
one
Jay
after the
finish,
other.
Oma. You will have your turn. Let Jay finish.
All I'm trying to say is that I am fine giving people a chance, right? But internet and electricity is never an excuse to not get work done. Right?
okay.
If you can't do the work, you can't do the work. But saying like, oh, it's not my fault, it's the internet, it's like, as far as the organization is concerned, that's not the organization's problem, right? We do everything we can to support people and reimbursement and get people access or internet cafes, whatever it takes to help people join. But there are billions of people across the world who literally don't have internet access and can't join. And that's just not our problem. The work still has to get done regardless of internet. If you can't do it, then we hire new people who can do it. As far as hiring new people, I think it's important to mention, oh, yes, and I'll get back to the money. But in terms of new people, I would a million times over rather work with someone who wants to be here and wants to work on the missions and wants to work with me than someone who doesn't want to be here, doesn't want to work on missions, and doesn't want to work with me. I don't care how new you are or how old you are. If you don't want to be here, you don't want to work with me, why would I want to work with that person? Right? So it's just like, I want to work with people who are in alignment with the work that I'm doing and want to collaborate together on it and have mutual respect and mutual beneficial relationships. That's what I'm interested in. I don't care if you're new or old. I care about primarily real-time work moving forward and getting done. Yes, sure, we lose out on thousands of hours of training if we fire everybody. But for me, at this point in time, almost a month going by with little to no client work, complete chaos, everything all over the place, not meeting a single deadline, everything, just in total chaos, no manager, no one stepping up, nothing happening. The system that's just like insanity. I have no idea what's going on still. I want out. I want to get out of here as soon as possible. That means losing thousands of hours of training. I don't care anymore. It just doesn't matter to me. I want out. In terms of getting people paid for their past work is completely irrespective of what we agree on in relationship to the budget moving forward. So everyone can get paid for the past work doing one simple thing, prioritizing payroll every single day, session after session until it's done and never stopping. And then payroll will happen. If you want to also mix in that with some client work, that's fine. But the bottom line is, if you want to get paid, Uma, prioritize payroll. If you're unwilling to work on payroll and nobody else wants to work on payroll, then of course no one's going to get paid. It's just like physics and math and just obvious. If no one works on payroll, no one's going to get paid. So, I mean, I don't know. And it's like, yes, we all need to be doing client work, but we also all need to be doing internal operations and making sure we're getting paid and doing the actual required work. I mean, we have to do both. So, we have to have a budget, so Tay can argue all she wants. I only work on client work now. I mean, that's great. But as a manager trying to run this organization, that doesn't make any sense. As a manager, your number one priority is making sure you have a budget and a functional team and being functional and organized. So we need to get a manager who actually wants to support the team, which includes all the internal operations, all of the client work, and all of the communications. We have to do all of it. We can't just pick and choose. We can't just be like, oh, I only want to do this one thing and screw everything else. I only want to get paid and I don't want to do anything else, right? It's just like, it doesn't make any logical sense, especially for an organization that's supposed to be a business and run actually and be functional. Like, the whole situation is, for me, just a nightmare. And I want it to be over. And that starts with getting agreement on the budget. And I haven't heard anyone say that they're willing to compromise at all yet. So like Gloria said, she's willing to, step down or whatever, but that doesn't actually come to agreement, right? If Gloria just disappears, that doesn't help us have agreement, and we could still end up everyone getting fired, right? What we need is people to vote with compromise. That's what I'm asking for, which does not just disappearing. Disappearing and not voting has nothing to do with compromise. Check.
So, Joe,
I don't know.
can I
Great.
move forward with the vote?
Well, that would be a separate topic, but I doubt.
And break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
I doubt anyone's doing timekeeping, so we have no idea what's going on in the topic, which is whatever. But we can continue the budget discussion. I haven't heard any interest in compromising, but I'm also fine going on to the next topic. Whatever y'all want to do, fine. Maybe we might have something to say, or we could take a break for 5 minutes and then continue.
Homa, Gloria, are you guys going to add something? Gloria, Homa,
Well,
Joyce.
what I had to say, when you said the organization doesn't care. Yes, when I came here, I already had my subscriptions ready, knowing that in the first month, or maybe when the month ends, during the payroll or whatever the payment methods that are used, I'd expect something to be able to resubscribe everything. If it were that the payments were coming in time, I wouldn't be complaining. I'll be available as much as possible. But how would you be doing client work when now you've not been able to subscribe it? Not because you don't want to make the subscriptions, but because at that moment you don't have that money to subscribe. And that money that you use to subscribe, you subscribe because you want to work with the company. I'm not even asking out. Only asking for direction, just a support. Like I just want my availability to be much of something that I'm sure about my availability. Like I'm not struggling. I'm not going out there again to look for some money to get my internet done. Yet I'm already here working. And if I'm not working, which hours am I supposed to come? And I've scheduled with a number of people. I scheduled a session with Ate. I've also been in a session with Jay and Lucy. I've been in a session with Lucy. Only with Mahmoud that we've not been in a session. We organized for a session with Gloria to work on MBT, which I already worked on already. We were just to go over it. I don't know if this is client work or this is the work that is to be done. Like there is no, I don't have any clear direction on what really I should be doing or what really I should be getting paid on. And this is really a challenge. I'm really spending to be here, but I'm not sure with what I'm doing, what is to be paid for or not to be paid for. Is the sacrifice I'm making really necessary? Is it really what is adding value to the company or not? I just need that clear direction.
Okay.
That's all I'm
So I
asking.
don't know if you can see
Please
my
stop.
screen.
Close your eyes. Count
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I don't know if you can see my screen, but under the tracking spreadsheet in the old automated single spreadsheet, right? That obviously we're not updating because no one does work anymore. But the under here, anything in the pink, which is line 126 down, right? You have the Vortex work, which is our network work and organizing the network. You've got all the taxes work. We have the bills, which no one works on bills. We have a tiny little bit of taxes. Nobody works on the Vortex. We have the sponsorship, which we have a meeting tomorrow for sponsorship with Eternity. We help multiple programs, but we're not helping them because no one prioritizes sponsorship. We have all of the assets and the finances support. We have the executive support, which is actually working. We're helping and supporting me, right, along with some of this stuff. And then we have our client relations and our client outreach. That's the paid work. That's what we are here to do to get paid. That's it. Anything other than that is just internal operations and communications, decision making, whatever. If we're not doing client work, we're not doing the assigned work. I mean, I've said it over and over and over. And this is not any sort of secret what the client work is. Again, I'll say it again: it's the network, the taxes, the bills, the sponsorship, the assets, the executive support, and the client relations and outreach. Like that's all there is. Like I don't know how to make it any simpler and clearer. So you would focus on those things every single day. Payroll is actually technically not even late yet. Like the month literally just ended 3 days ago, right? So if we got payroll done by the quarter moon, we'd actually be on time with payroll for last month. So, you know, I think it's just a very different world. Like people expecting to get paid every week or getting paid every 2 weeks or whatever. If people want to get paid every week or every 2 weeks, that's fine. Do the work for the payroll and run the payroll every week or two. That's fine. It's just work that needs to get done. You have to schedule it more often, right? But as an organization, we've all agreed to do our payroll monthly, and the month just ended 3 days ago. And so if we just do the payroll, we'll be on time with getting people paid within the week. But someone has to step up and do the work, and nobody is doing it. So maybe it'll be 2 weeks, maybe it'll be 3 weeks, maybe it'll be a month. I don't know how long it'll take to get payroll done, but we are technically on time with payroll. So it's just a matter of perspective in terms of the organization. And yes, things are chaotic and all over the place and literally crazy, but to get them back on track it's super easy. You just do the work. And Gloria is 100 million times % right that we have multiple workers who've been here for years who know what to do, right? Specifically Joyce, Ate, Lucy, and
Time for
others.
breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
And in my perspective, the problem is that those workers who we've trained for years just decided to stop doing the work. And they don't want to do the work. They don't want to train anyone else to do the work. They are totally against recruitment. So they're against any new people who even came in at the beginning, and they don't even want to train them because they were against the recruitment in the first place. No one wants to recruit. No one wants to do the work. It's just nothing moving forward. Right? So it's like, yeah, that's wonderful. Let's keep the people around who don't want to do the work. Like, I don't know. It's a really difficult situation in an organizational perspective. Do you hire new people who want to do the work, or do you keep old people who don't want to do the work? I don't know. It's very, very difficult decision to make. But I agree that there are lots and lots of problems. But the way to fix it is you just schedule and do the work, right? If you want to prioritize payroll, you just prioritize payroll, and you don't do it. Oh yeah, I scheduled one payroll session like 3 weeks ago, and that means doing work. It's like, no, that's insanity. Like, you don't schedule one payroll session for a multi-week period. You work on payroll every single day, 2 or 3 times a day until it's completed, and you don't stop ever. That's doing work. If you're not focusing on something and doing it every single day, and then the only time stopping is to prioritize something else and going right back to it when you finish prioritizing that other thing, like some other client work or client outreach or whatever, you're not working.
Maybe
It's not work. Oh yeah, let's schedule once every couple weeks, and then that's somehow me doing work. It's like, that's not what work is. I work every single day, sometimes 10 hours a day, and it's nonstop. I'm setting up an entire new organization. I'm setting up multiple new campaigns. I'm setting up multiple fundraising drives. I'm doing endless work every single day, and I don't see anyone else doing much of anything.
maybe Jay, just have one more question.
Jay.
And it will be about for me as a new worker. I just want to ask you the condition that has been there, the way the workers have been communicating, how the old workers have been communicating, how the new workers have been communicating. Do you think the condition has been really conducive enough for a new worker like me, like Gloria, like Namno, and like Benjamin to really get to grab something, like, and to get really attached to the team, and also get to work? Or here we only work by contention, every issue trying to be like a contention? Like, do you really see the condition has really been very conducive for us to really catch up with the team?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I would say no. The team is not conducive to supporting anything like that's going on. I mean, for me, training is part of the work, right? Working together and collaborating, training, all of it is part of the work. And it takes time, it takes effort, it takes apprenticeship, it takes, doing it over and over and over again, and it can be extremely frustrating. And but that's the work, right? We had a proposal at one point before everything fell apart, which was to require existing workers to train the new workers. Otherwise, they basically go on pay stops, right? They're required to do it. But now there's no deadlines, no pay stops, there's nothing. So like, why would any old worker ever go and train a new worker if they're not even required to, and there's no pay stubs, there's nothing. I mean, it just doesn't, and so no one's doing anything. Like I remember back in the day, me remembers this back in the day. I don't know if Joyce remembers it, but we used to, everyone was working. We had a couple people from New World, we had a couple people from Old World, not more than like 3 or 4 people. It wasn't a lot of people. And like,
Really
now
good.
we have twice that many. We have like 10 people now, and nobody works. Like back in the day, we had 5, 6 people, and everyone was working. I would go to sleep, right? There'd be like 3 or 4 sessions during Old World, or at least 1 or 2, and I would wake up and all the work would be done.
Mm.
And
On
people were every single day, Old World, New World, constantly. It was always happening. Work
Okay.
was everywhere. People were scheduling every single day. It was like Discord, like, oh, let's schedule this time and that time and this time. It was just like the work never stopped. Now it's like there's just nothing. No one's scheduling. No one's doing work. It's like 1, 2 sessions a week if we're lucky, and then we just deal with all the chaos. And there's no repercussions to not compromising. It's like no one has to do anything, and you still get paid. No work, get paid. No compromise, get paid. No scheduling, get paid. It's just there's nothing. It's just insane. Why would anyone do work if they're just going to get paid to not do work? I just don't get it.
Okay, Jay, I want to say something. Um, the vision of FQN resonates with my passion, and that was why I even applied in the first place. So it's not that I didn't intend to just work 1 month, and in fact, I didn't envisage a day like this that I would just come and say I'll have to leave and all of that. But you just explained what compromise is. You wanted us to vote to reach an agreement, because what I keep seeing is for the budget to be
Time to
okay,
stretch.
one or
Please
three,
stop,
1 to 3
stand up,
workers
and
or
stretch
so will
and
be
move
fired.
around for 30 seconds.
Um, so I thought to, okay, say as a new worker, maybe I should allow the budget to contain the others. But maybe with your explanation, my intention is never to leave FPN. I want to work in FQN. It's just that the atmosphere, the environment, the
doesn't
condition, the contention, everything. No work is getting done. People are not understanding what's going on and all of that. So yeah, I could continue to work with FQN. I hope we and believe we figure out all of this so that the work can really get done. If we have to work on payroll every
yeah.
day, that's fine by me. It's just to get an appropriate time to get it done. If we need to work on client work, like Uma said, it's hard for you to say what is client work, which is client work. You just showed us now on the template, and then we also need to know how it's being done, which will mean to work with old workers to get that done. Yeah, but I also would want to. I will continue with FPN, but I would want to like end the contract in Upwork. While I continue outside Upwork, and even assess the funds in Upwork is not that easy. It's difficult
Really.
processes and all of that. So if I'm continuing, I want to continue outside Upwork. So I would like to end the contract in Upwork. And Jay, please, I would like a good review. I'm just 2 months in Upwork, so I wouldn't want this. Actually, the first job I did in Upwork was a fixed job. This is the first hourly job, the long time job. The first job was just a few hours job. So I would want a good review from you, Jay, so that can support my Upwork account. But I would like to continue this work outside of work so that I don't have to get the pay, through Upwork and all of that, because there's a lot of issues with that. Thank you.
So
Re-
let me respond here on the whole Upwork thing. So, first of all,
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
so first of all, it is possible to do evaluations and reviews, I believe, even if the contract is still going. So just keep writing me, and we can try to figure that out again. I've done it before, so that's fine. As far as working outside of contract, it is very against the law. We have a 2-year contract with Upwork. Every worker that works with us, either with Upwork or Workana or anything else, it's 2 years. And within that time period, you have to, all the fees go through Workana, and we cover all of the costs and the fees for you. Just do the reimbursements. And then that's it. If you want to quit, you can quit, and then we can, cancel the Upwork contract or whatever. But you cannot go external to Workana or Upwork. That's just against the law, right? That we have a contract. And that's also one of the issues I have with NameNo is that people who do not respect
Yeah,
contracts have no interest in
I
working
just
with you.
want to do what Benjamin did. Yeah,
No,
you
Benjamin
said
just quit.
Benjamin can come back and work with the
Benjamin's
company,
not.
so
Did
that's what I'm
anyone
asking.
did anyone think that Benjamin was not quitting?
No.
Yeah, Benjamin just quit.
No, you
Like if he
said he
wants to
can
stop
come
working with
back.
you,
You said he can
I'm
come
sure he
back.
can come back. If he wants
Yeah,
to
you
come back,
said
he
that.
has to reset up his contract through Upwork and get paid through Upwork. I never said that he can come back and get paid any other way than Upwork. I
Oh,
said he could
oh,
reset up
oh,
the contract in Upwork.
Jay,
okay.
I just have some requests to make because
Okay.
well, I'm not trying to ignore in any way trying to get away from the old workers, but I just wanted to request if maybe tomorrow or maybe after this session we can schedule another session so that we can work on me, you and Gloria. I think we're the new workers here. We can work on something like payroll. We can see how it's done. We just direct us so that next time we are doing it, we can do it in a better way. Or maybe if it's something to do with the budget or the social media, like anything you think we can help you in. And even some
Yeah.
other time you can also just schedule a session with us. We are really willing to learn. But for real, the condition there hasn't been so much conducive for us to really grab something. That's the complaint Gloria is having. That's the complaint I'm having. Maybe another person as well. But and if any other work I would like to join, we are also open to it, but we'd really like to learn something so
Time
that
for
we
breath.
continue working
Please
here.
stop.
We signed up
Count
for this
1,
because we are
inhale.
willing to work
1,
here.
2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause.
Even
Inhale.
during Cobalt,
1, 2,
Okay.
3. Exhale.
Cobalt,
So
Relax.
so I know
Andromeda, Phoenix, whatever.
we're not very good on the facilitation and like all of the policies and everything. If we want to prioritize a topic on scheduling, I'm happy to do that. Scheduling is very, very simple. You go on Discord, you say, buddy team proposal for working on payroll at this time with these people. And then, schedules are old world, schedule for new world. Let them say no. If they say no, then come back with 5 more proposals. What about this time, this time, this time, this time, this time? And if they say no again, then come back with 20 more proposals or 50 more proposals or 100 more proposals. Never stop. Every single day, dozens of proposals until someone says yes. Period. That is how you schedule it.
Oh, great. But I think you had my request.
Yeah. So if you want, like right now, we're talking about the budget. So anyone not talking about the budget is breaking policy. So my request would be if we want to have a topic, we want to discuss scheduling and training, we can do that. But right now, the topic is the budget and whether or not we're going to fire people. Gloria was talking about that she sort of understands the compromise, but the bottom line comes down to the voting, right? So Gloria, you voted no on everything except for $2,490 for everybody and doubling and tripling, quadrupling everyone's pay. And then you voted no, 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 no on every other option, including saying that if we don't get agreement on that, everyone has to give back the back pay that they've already gotten, which is $1,275 that everyone would have to give back because we don't have agreement on it. As far as the budget options, you voted no on every single budget option, 3 through 3 through 3 through 2 2 2 2 2, except for the first budget option, which was to improve the over $8,000. So that is exactly the definition of not compromising. So if in the topics, if we want to re-vote, we could do the budget options and then vote on the budget options again. That is not the next priority topic, but maybe after the contention, we could go into that and actually start voting on the budget options and seeing if there's any compromises that people are willing to do, and or trying to get agreement on the back pay or something, because right now there is nowhere close to agreement on anything. So hopefully that makes sense. But I don't know if we want to take a break
Okay,
or if
so
we
Jay,
what's
on the budget options, can you, on the budget options, you wanted us to agree on the money that was already given, right? I don't
so,
because
so the money that was already
the
given was what we
options,
called the back pay, right? So the back pay proposals, there was 10 back pay options and
yeah,
there
the
are
back
five
pay.
budget
Time
options,
to
right?
pause. Please
And for
stop.
the back pay
Close your
options,
eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
the budget options are lines 32 to 37, and the back pay options are lines 174 to 185. And right now, everybody is supporting option number 4. Like the team is supporting option number 4. Obviously, it's not passing. And then the option number 8, which is the money that has already been distributed, has also not passed. Which means that if we can't pass the $1,275, like right now, the approval of the back pay by the HR board is $0 has been approved. All we have is emergency approval. It must be approved in the budget. Currently, we do not have agreement on the budget. If we can't even agree to the $1,275, then all that money needs to come back, and we can run the payroll and we can deduct it from the payroll. Does that make sense?
Okay, so Jay, sometimes, yeah, we because we need clarity on all of this. That's why. So if the ones we collected are not already agreed upon, then I think we should agree on that. So we are sure we are done with that, and then we can move on for within whatever we need to move on with. So I didn't quite get all of this, but now you explained that we didn't even get agreement, so we need to get agreement on that, and then we can move forward. So I think um,
Jay,
I'm fine with
mm,
anyone that works with the organization.
let, let's vote on the options for back pay and something the other options we wanted to
Yeah. So
revote.
option
So
um, option 1, 2, and 3 for the budgets could easily include not having to return back pay, right? So we could fire half the workers, give everybody the $1,275 in back pay, and then create a compromise there, right? So that the budget might go up 1 month, but then it would go down, right? Obviously, option 1 and option 2 would keep all that back pay. Option 4 and 5, there's really no way to get a balanced budget. Like option 5 is the only thing close to a balanced budget. It is the only way to have a balanced budget, which would be returning all of the back pay. Because there's no other way to have a balanced budget. We can't pay an extra $1,275 and have a balanced budget. Our baseline's only 1,800, unless we got rid of all of the
Time to take a break.
previous
Please
payrolls.
stop.
So
Write
that's
down
like
whatever
another
you
issue
were
that can
about
be
to
addressed
say
if we
and
pass the
take a
payrolls.
break for 6 minutes.
So I'll put that as another possible topic, which is tax payments. Anyways, should we take a break? Because we missed the last break.
okay,
So I don't know if anything's actually making any progress here. I don't know if we want to go into the contentious when we get back from the break, or if we want to go into just the budget options and start voting and see what we can get as far as a compromise, and actually try to move forward as an organization. But let's take a break, shall we? And then we'll figure it out.
Uh, budget option.
All right.
Okay, 5 minute break.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back.
So shall we go into budget option? I was also thinking about like budget goals. That could be part of the budget options as well. To prioritize some budget goals to try to get clarity on the budget.
Yeah, no objection. And then I made a request on the chat box on Jitsi.
Let's see. What is it? The list of client work is in the pay the where you track your hours.
Oh, okay,
Don't
okay.
you have your hour tracking
I,
spreadsheet, or you don't have your hour tracking spreadsheet?
I have that. I have the hour tracking spreadsheet.
So you go to your hours tracking spreadsheet. Here's Uma hours tracking spreadsheet, and then you just go down to line 126 to line 193.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
All right. So do we have agreement on continuing with the budget, or you guys want to go into contention, or what do you want to do?
We can continue with the budget.
So my recommendation would be, if we want to continue with the budget, would be going into budget options and goals. So budget, goals, and options. So basically
Okay.
to get clarity on our budget goals and vote on options, right? Does that sound good for topic 3?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joyce, is that good? You haven't been saying much.
Yes, Jay, I am just controlling myself because of my blood pressure.
Okay, let's let us know if you want to say anything. So topic 3 there's no objections, we'll just go through these budget goals. So one of the things that I think is really important about participatory budgeting is that the foundation to every budget is never numbers. And a lot of people don't quite understand that, but it's true, right? Budgets are words, or primarily words, not numbers. So when your every single budget is produced based on your goals, your budgetary goals, and your budgetary goals are not numbers. Your budgetary goals are words. So my recommendation at this point would be to vote on our budgetary goals. What do we actually want to achieve with our budget? And then maybe that will help us get some compromise by actually.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So maybe that would help us get some clarity on how we want to move forward. So that would be my recommendation, is voting on all of these different budgetary goals. Also, just so I don't forget, I just want to remind you, Joyce, that you're certainly not required to be here. If you're not feeling well, you don't want to be here, you don't have anything to say, like, you certainly aren't required to be here. But you can still vote, and if this works well, maybe we might continue to vote on the voting form. So I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of topics for our budgetary goals. So if someone has another goal they want to add to the budget, that would be great, but I'll go through each one. So the first topics are back pay. And so we could either give everyone maximum back pay, the maximum possible amount, like right now is the $22,490, which is everyone's pushing for. We could try to compromise on back pay and at least get agreement on the $1,275. Or we could try to reduce the back pay by 25% or more to get closer to a balanced budget. So that would be one goal in relationship to the back pay for the budget. Next, we have the workers. Do we want to keep all the workers in the budget? Do we want to fire a third of the workers? Do we want to fire a half the workers? Do we want to fire 2/3 of the workers? Do we want to fire all of the workers? What types of compromises are we willing to do for the budget to get the budget going? The next one would be like the baseline. Do we want to try to increase the baseline by agreement with disregarding the past payrolls, either some or all? We could try to recalculate the baseline. Maybe we made a mistake. Or we could review the accounting to increase the baseline and find more money. Maybe we could find more money somewhere to have more money to pay people. But I think we did pretty good on the baseline. Bonuses and benefits. We could keep all bonuses and extra benefits for the team. We could only keep internet reimbursements and get rid of all overtime bonuses. We could get rid of all bonuses and benefits to help the budget. For bills, we could keep all the bills, or we could do the hard work of actually going through the bills and cutting bills. Obviously, no one wants to work on the bills, so we don't work on the bills. Overall, our goal could be to have a balanced budget. Our goal could be being in the red by 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000. We could do every $1,000. You could do 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 900, 10,000. If you want to do all 10 options.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So that is certainly, but I think, anywhere between 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000 gives us at least a range, and then we can get in more detail. So then we have a process. So if we agree to fire people, we could fire people based on various processes. Like we fire people based on removals voting form. We could fire people based on, the HR rankings and the evaluations. We could fire people based on pay rate, and we could also fire people based on seniority, how long people have been around in the organization. So these are all considerations that we can think about in terms of how it is fair to actually cut people from the budget and how to actually get agreement and consensus on a budget. So are there other goals that people would like to add before we vote? Otherwise, we can just go ahead and vote on these. And this might help us have an idea as a team where we are in relationship to the budget, right? Because again, the budget is simply created based on our goals. So whatever goals as a team we have for the budget, then we can build the numbers to match our goals. That's how budgets work. All budgets start with whoever's creating the budget has specific budgetary goals that they're trying to achieve, and you build the budget out of your intention. That's what a budget is, right? So the numbers are always secondary to the intention of the people who are building a budget and what they're trying to accomplish. All right, does that make sense? Anyways, this would be a great
Yeah.
thing to index because it would be great training for people in the future. But I don't
Yes.
really do indexing work. But anyways, shall we go ahead and vote? If no one has any other goals that they want to add, we could go ahead and vote on all of these and just see kind of where we as a team are. And maybe it will help us get more clarity in understanding. Oh, also one other thing in terms of the that I thought about as a goal. I'm not sure which section it fits in, but it basically would be like you know, pop preemptive budget changes. So we could potentially um, reduce the budget through, like I guess this would be workers, right? So instead of firing workers, we could do pop preemptive budget changes, which would be reducing pay, right? Preemptive budget changes, which is reducing pay. Which obviously right now we're just talking about increasing pay, but hopefully that's
Time
a
to
good
stretch.
another good
Please
example of
stop,
action.
stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, so stretching, voting, okay, looking good.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Hey, Mamoon, are you planning on voting at all? Mamoon? I guess we lost Mamoon. Now, just let me know when you're done voting. Does anyone want to send a message to Mamoon, or should I just do that?
Yeah, Jay.
I'll send them. Okay, Mamu,
Jay, do you hear me?
Oh, you're back. Are you voting, Mamoon? You haven't voted at all.
Okay, Mamu is.
Mamoon, are you planning on
Okay.
voting or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going to vote.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
I've voted.
All right. Let's go through this. Even though people haven't finished, let's just go through it anyways, and people can continue to vote, and maybe other people will vote as well, since there's obviously still a lot of disagreement. So I'm going to go ahead and filter this and prioritize it. Is that okay, Mamoon?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Yeah. Okay, so the number one top priority for the budget is to reduce back pay by a total of 25%, if not more. So everybody's voting to reduce back pay. That's very different than what everyone voted on before. So that's a little surprising. The next one is we have the overall max in the red would be $1,000. So this represents, if we go to our budget options, which we have 5 budget options, which I'll put down in line 44. So this would be 2,200, no, option 4 is $2,000 in the red and requires firing half the people. So this is like, this would require firing more
Time
than
to pause.
half
Please
of the
stop.
workers.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, so the next one is only keep internet reimbursement. So this would get rid of all overtime bonuses and other bonuses and benefits. Then we have overall have a balanced budget in the green. So again, we're going back to balanced budget. This would require us to fire all but 1 to 3 workers. So again, I mean, maybe people don't understand that if we want a balanced budget or we want to be only $1,000 in the red, we have to fire a lot of people. So not dealing with the bills makes sense. People just don't want to deal with the bills. That's fine. Less work, right? Even though it's client work. Try to review accounting to increase baseline, find more. So yeah, we could review the accounting. Maybe we'd find some money. It's unlikely, but it's certainly possible. Then we have keep all bonuses and extra benefits. I definitely personally would love to keep the overtime bonuses and things like that. Overtime bonuses. So you can see how some of these are contradictory, but then you can see, okay, where our priorities are. We're trying to, even though we'd love to cut some of the benefits, we obviously don't want to cut all the benefits. Baseline, increase the baseline by agreement to disregard past payrolls. Increase baseline by agreement to disregard past payrolls. So this is something that we could be discussed about actually trying to, for example, we have a 6-month-old payroll that's eating up like, I don't know, almost $2,000. And it's like, you know, it's technically there and we have the possibility of doing a massive reconciliation and paying all this extra money, but it's like no one wants to do the work. So maybe we could figure out how to get rid of that and focus on the future. Next one is keeping all workers in the budget. Right, so this is obviously not possible with some of the other goals. We have after that, we have the baseline, try to recalculate and keep some time more money. Going through the bills, so maybe we do go through a few bills, but it might be difficult. And then we have preemptive top changes, which would actually be, you know, reducing your pay rate to keep other workers, right? Anyway, so, and then we have max 2,500 in the rent, which is a little bit more reasonable. All right, cool. So, and then we have fire people based on HR ranking. So that seems to be the highest process, is to fire people based on HR rankings,
Time
which
to
means
take
we
a
should.
break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
We should do an updated HR rankings and everyone should vote or evaluate everybody, right? So anyways, I think that is where we are at the everything that got above a 5. Here, let's kind of re-update this. There we go. So everything that got above a 5 would be these ones here, right? So it kind of gives us an idea of sort of like where the organization stands in relationship to the budget goals, which I think is really helpful, even though obviously we would like to wait, we would like to keep all workers in the budget. That is like the biggest thing that's obviously against our overall budgetary goals. And then obviously the POP preemptive budgets, is slightly above half as well. So remember, you only need a majority to get agreement, and then you have weighted, agreements. So we need to figure out how this can all move forward. But I think this gives us a general idea of where to start to kind of narrow down our budget at least a little bit. Are there any questions on this process, or should we just go straight to the break and then we get questions afterwards? All right, so I think we're good.
Take a break.
Yeah, so let's take a break and then we can come back and see what other
Yeah.
questions we have, and then we can look at these options, and then we can align these options with the proposals that we have next and try to see how they match up with the actual proposals. All right, 4-minute break.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
I'm back.
All right. So do we have any questions? Is anyone even back?
Yeah, I'm back there.
Okay, so if there's no
I'm
questions,
back.
okay, are there any questions about our budget priorities? So there's no questions. Let's see if we can align some of these budgets to these goals, okay? So reducing the back pay by 25%, if not more. Like, I'm not sure why that one's so high because people have been so against the back pay, but that would be option 3, 4, and 5. Reduce back pay. Okay. So we'll give these an X. Then we have keeping all the bills, trying to review accounting to increase baseline. So keeping all the bills would be everything except for option 5. Because option 5 does require us to cut bills. Try to review accounting to increase baseline to find more money. So that's irrelevant. Overall, maximum $1,000 in the red. So $1,000 in the red, the closest would be to that would be obviously option number 4. We'll make that one bold. And we'll give it another X. All right, then we've got have a balanced budget in the green. So the balanced budget in the green obviously is option number 5. So we'll uncross that one out and give it another X as well. But obviously a balanced budget is very, very difficult. Only keep internet reimbursements. Keep all bonuses and extra benefits. So obviously we want to cut as little benefits as possible. I think that is pretty applicable to all of our options, but primarily option 3 and option 1 and option 2, right?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, so then that brings us to keeping all workers in the budget. So the only way to keep all workers in the budget obviously is option number 1. But we could potentially cut that down by getting rid of the back pay, which would bring it down a little bit. Keep all bonus, extra benefits. Keep all bonuses and extra benefits. Try to recalculate baseline on money. Do how to get bills. Hot preemptive budget changes. So for preemptive budget changes, that's really an individual question. So we can ask people if they're willing to update their pop. Obviously, I've updated my pop many, many times, and I'm going down to $0. So I'm happy to change my pay rate to 0. So we could go through, if anyone wants to take that on, that would be a task, right? So the task would be to ask all workers to update their pops and let us know what their preemptive budget changes would be. So if someone wants to do that, you could sign up and take that on. All right, so and then we have a proposal here. So the proposal would be to get rid of, the 6-month-old past payroll for the 4-month one-time reconciliation, which is valued as high as $2,000. So that would add $2,000 into our budget. Another proposal could be, to get rid of all past payrolls older than 3 months, right? And another proposal could be, to get rid of all past payrolls, period, right? So there's some different options on those proposals that we could consider. I don't know if people are really interested in doing that, but we can certainly consider it. It didn't really pass, though. You can see how in increase baseline by agreement disregard. So this only got a 5.6. So the fact that that would pass would be very low probability. But we can at least look at see what those proposals would look like. So fire people based on HR ranking. So HR rankings is just more work. So someone would need to take on that work as well. So that would be a responsibility. Would be update HR rankings. It's a responsibility.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
And so the other proposal, of course, is simply just, to get agreement on the $2,175 of back pay, or consider some of the back pay options that reduce the budget. So let's see what those look like. So we go into our budget goals. We have right. So this was the number one thing, was to reduce back pay. I'm not sure exactly why everybody suddenly wants to reduce back pay after we literally spent 2 weeks talking about back pay. But this one would not be applicable because none of these reduced back pay has actually increased it. So option number 3, obviously option number 4 would not be applicable. Option number 5, no, option number 5 increases. So these two are not applicable. So option 7, option 8, option 9, option 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options to either keep existing back pay or to reduce it. So we could vote on those 5 options again and see if there's any ability to get agreement. But I mean, the fact that that this back pay reduction has come up to the very top of the list is a huge compromise already. You understand that?
Yeah.
So I think overall this exercise of going through budget goals was very successful in even though we don't have agreement on anything, that it at least gives us the sense that we are willing to compromise somehow. So that, for me, that's a really good sign. So what I would do is I would put this all into a budget voting spreadsheet in a budget voting form, and then send that out again today, and then hopefully tomorrow we can go over it all as a team and see if we can get any final decisions or get closer to clarity or agreement in relationship to a compromise on the budget. So I feel really good about this. I think this is has a very clear way to move forward with the team. Even though it's obviously still, there's a lot of contradictions here. Like, obviously we can't have a balanced budget and then also keep everybody in the budget. That's just not possible, right? But I think overall we do have some clear
Time to pause. Please stop.
priorities moving forward.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Uma, can
And
you
also,
please mute yourself?
we can move Uma. No, mute it. Done. Okay, so it is good to note here that in relationship to preemptive pop changes, one of the cool things about preemptive pop changes is you don't need agreement to do that. Like, for example, Gloria is saying she's willing to step back and not and even quit in order to help the organization. She could also choose to cut her budget in half and do half the amount of time. So instead of working 30 hours, she could work 15 hours for half the cost, right? So that would also reduce the budget for the team and nobody has to agree to that, right? For example, I'm reducing my budget to $0. Nobody has to agree to that. I can do that myself. So preemptive pop changes are really powerful because somebody, for example, Joyce, she can't reduce her budget. She needs the money to survive, right? So there's just no way she can reduce her budget, and that's okay because other team members could reduce their budget to help people who can't reduce their budget so that we can keep as many people in the budget as possible. Okay, so let's see how this all evolves. Does anyone want to work on the new? So I'd say the next steps here are a new budget voting form. This would be round, I believe we're on round 5 now. Then we would do a, create a budget goals voting spreadsheet that we would send out. And then we also would do, messages and communications with the team to vote, right? Is anyone interested on this? Obviously, I'll work on it. If no one wants to do it, I've been doing it a lot. But Mamoon, you've helped some on it. Matei also helped some. Well, we could do this Cobalt, Sonic, but it's definitely a priority because this would help us get agreement with the team on the budget. But I feel like this is the first time that we at least have had like a little bit of wiggle room on the budget. So that's a very
Yeah.
hopeful sign to me, even though we obviously don't have agreement on anything. I think we do have a little bit of wiggle room. Then we can revote on. I mean, we could revote right now. People want to spend all the time to vote now on all these options, but I feel like what makes the most sense is just to do the voting forms and then send out the options again.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of silence. So anyways, if there's nothing anyone else to say and there's nothing else about the budget, then let's just go on to the next topic. We could address some of the contention.
Okay.
Or we can
Sure.
just wrap up and check out and be done and get focused on work. I mean, whatever you guys want to do. But the next top priority is the contention because I think the budget and the budget options, all that is really clear, organized. We even have potential steps to build compromise and actually get agreement. And this is makes me very happy that even though I don't know what's going to happen, but at least there's a little bit of interest.
Um, I don't know. For me, I don't think we need to go into the contention right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
We
like the
can just
the the
wrap up.
fundamental core of the contention is the fact that like no work is getting done. We have chaos and there's no clear management. No one's really in charge of anything now, and then we don't have a budget. So if we can get a budget and we can just like agree to disagree and like just do work, everything will be fine. You know what I mean? And we could just address contention over time. But yeah, I'm perfectly fine not going to the contention right now because I don't see how it's going to help us actually get any work done or address the budget.
Yes, they. We can just check out and
Okay. If anyone
uh,
had any like personal needs that they want to address, that we could certainly try to help individuals in need or just try to deal on the individual basis and see what we can figure out as a team. I'm perfectly fine doing that. Otherwise, why don't we just go ahead and check out and then
and
wrap up?
also after voting, so everyone is sacrificing just 25% of the back pay is going to pay us all, right, Jay?
So 25% of the back pay reductions would be I guess technically that's option 2. You see this is technically 25%. reduction on the original
Time
back
to
pay
pause.
proposal.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Cool. Yeah, so it gives us some options to vote on. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options. I mean, I think we could get rid of this. Like, obviously, people want some back pay. Let's see if that give half of the back pay. I mean, I would say because we do want to consider a balanced budget, we do need to consider no back pay, right? So we have all of these options. We were basically narrowing down some of the. I guess this one is considered as well. Yeah. Anyways, we'll just have to re-vote on everything and just see if there anything changes in terms of our voting on the options. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah. But under these particular details here, so option 4 and option 6 is a 25% reduction from the original amount which was the $1,940.
Mm-hmm.
So we approved a 25% reduction from the original back pay amount. That would actually be $1,455 of back pay, which would increase everybody's back pay by $200 total, right? So when I wrote this, I wrote it, reduce back pay total by at least 25%, if not more. So the 25% I was thinking was from the 1,200 because I did write here the compromise on the back pay get agreement on the $1,275 max. So my understanding of this back pay is that we're all agreeing to reduce the back pay by less than 1,275, right? Is that correct or not?
Yeah.
1,200.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. So if we multiply that out, that would be $950, right? So this would be 950 $940. So that should reduce the back pay options and get rid of option number 2, and instead it goes to the 25% reduction of our current back pay is actually a 50% reduction of the
Time
original
for
back
breath.
pay.
Please stop and
Does that make sense?
now inhale. 1, 2,
Current back pay
3.
and original
Breath.
back pay.
2,
So,
3.
Yeah.
Pause. Inhale
So,
Make
together.
sure, Jay. Can you just
Jay,
put the numbers here?
yeah, all the numbers are
Jay,
here. Yes. Joy?
what I understood, that's why I voted there 25% because I thought it's 25% of the 2,490. So that's not the one.
Okay, so let's go ahead and re-vote on this
Yeah,
because
that's
it's a little
exactly what I
confusing.
thought, Jay.
Let's go ahead and re-vote on this because it's a little confusing. Okay, so here was on line 9 was give everyone the maximum back pay of $2,490. So this was like the total amount, right?
Yeah.
Then you have compromise on back pay and get agreement on the $1,275 max, right? Then we saying reducing back pay from 1,275 current total by at least 25% and not more. So it's 95%, $940, right? And then we can add another one that's like, to increase back pay from the 1,275 up, 25% or more, right? So there's let's just keep the middle ground on $1,275 because the current amount of money that's already been transferred that is going into the budget, right? So, or that we're trying to get into the budget, right? So if we want to do more than that, if we're increasing it to here, this would be more like 14, 1,400, $50 plus, right? Does that make sense?
So where is the choice, Jay, to decrease it by 25%?
So the way that I wrote it was that we're decreasing the $1,275 by 25%, which is the first one.
No, I
So the
mean,
compromise
So we
would
are
be
giving
getting
back the
paid
money.
the $1,275 would be the compromise, which is means that nobody has to give back any back pay. Then reducing back pay would mean to reduce and return, right? To
Time to
reduce
pause.
and return back
Please
pay,
stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
right? So to give everybody the maximum 2,490, and then we have the increased back pay from the, increase the current back pay from the 1,275 up to 25% or more, which would be up to like 1,450, right? Going up by 200, 300, 500, $1,000. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
so
So I'll
so
put
where
these in order. I'll put them in order so it makes sense. So basically, the top order would be the maximum amount of money. So the maximum amount of money would be the everyone getting $2,490 would be the top. Then the second highest one would be to increase the current back pay from the 1,275 up 25% or more, which would be an increase in back pay, right? Then you've got a the compromise to keep the back pay the same, right? So that would be the compromise, which would be the next one, and then you have reducing the back pay. Right? So if you start at the top, maximum back pay for everybody would be the first one, $2,490. Then you have, okay, but our current amount is 1,275. Let's increase the 1,275 up to 1,450 or 1,750 or 2,000 or even go up towards the 2,490, right? Then we could compromise on the back pay to get agreement on the 1,275, or we could reduce and return the back pay, right? I think there was one more. Anyways, I think the
there
last
was
one would be
a there was a
get that
25%.
return all back pay $0, right? So we can add that one in as well. So does that make sense in terms of like the five back pay options? There's compromising in the middle on the amount of money everybody already has, which is $1,275. If we can't get agreement on that, we have to give it back, right? Then there's increasing that amount, there's reducing that amount. So you have increasing from the 1,275 up 25% or more. You have reducing and returning back pay from the 1,275 of at least 25% or more, right? And that goes down to like $940 or less. And then you have giving everyone the maximum back pay or you returning all the back pay. There's five options. Does that make sense in terms of the
Jay,
five options?
Jay, I thought there was
Time to take a break.
I thought there
Please
was
pause.
increase
Write down whatever
on the
you're
back
about to
pay
say.
by
Take a break
twenty-five
for six
percent.
minutes.
There
Yeah,
was
that's
a
on line 8. Line 8 is increasing the 1,000. Like basically, the starting point is where we are now, which for this voting, and where we currently are is $1,275, which is line 9. If you want to get more than $1,279, you increase by 25% or more, line 8. If you want to get the full maximum 2,490, that's line 7. If you want to go down from the 1,275, you could reduce by 25% or more, which is line 10. And if you want to get rid of all the back pay and return all the back pay, that's a line 11. That make sense?
So Jay,
Jay,
why don't we put a line like
Yeah.
25 to reduce by 25%, to be clear? why don't we put a line like that?
Because the starting point
25%.
is one
Yeah, because
thousand
when you
two hundred
add
and
more,
seventy-five
it
dollars.
can be any amount.
The starting point is
When you
one
say or
thousand two hundred
more,
and
that
seventy-five.
means it can be any amount.
Yeah, I know, but it's why can't we put it like very clearly, like
Okay, so we can add two additional options if you want. So this would be to increase by at least 50%, just um, somewhat under the 2,490, right? And this would be to reduce and return at least 50%, um, around around $600. Does that make sense? So now there's seven options, right? So the middle compromise ground is 1,275. You can increase by 25% or more, or increase by 50% or more, right? Or it's the full maximum $2,490. Does that make sense, Joyce?
yeah. So it means there is no choice for the 75%. Wait, I'm confused because I want to see reduce by 25%.
25%.
Reduce by
No, but a
25%.
reduction of 25% is really confusing because the starting point is $1,275 because that's what everybody's already received, right? And if that doesn't get approved, then that we have to return that already because it has not been approved by the HR board. So it would be an increase of $1,275 up to, um, you know, 50%. So if you take 1,275 plus 2,490 divided by 2 is 1,800, like 1,900. So this is $1,900 plus. Does that make sense?
So this is already the 1,900. Okay.
Yeah. And if you do exact math, like let's say if you do 2,490 times 0.75 is 1,900. Yeah. So 1,900 is 75% of the
Okay.
2,490. All
So
right. Does
this
that
is the
sound good?
line
So,
eight. Yeah,
yeah. Can we
this is
just
the line.
re-vote on
Okay.
these? Yes, Mamoon?
Reduce and return back pay from reduce and return back pay. So, as my understanding, we already been paid $1,275,
Correct.
and
Correct.
current total by at least 20. What is 25%? What are you going to do with the 25%?
If we return the 25% of the back pay,
Okay,
that would
that
be
means
$940. So we have a budget option that goes down, that
okay.
reduces the back pay by
So
a little bit.
yeah, I understood. I mean, this option is like need to return 25%. Okay, compromise on BAPK, get agreement on 1200 max. Okay, this one is we already got 1275, and that's all right. Line 10.
Line 10 is the current amount that everyone's gotten, which would mean if we get agreement on that, then no one has to return anything, but no one gets any extra. If we can't
Okay,
get agreement on that, then everyone has to return that amount. So we need to figure out whether we want to increase that amount in the budget or we want to decrease that amount in the budget to try to have a balanced budget. Does that make sense?
makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay,
To
so let's
increase
just
current.
revote. Let's revote really quickly on the back pay options, and then we can be done with this and check out. Okay. But thank you for bringing up the confusion because we definitely, it was the number one priority. So we want to know what that number one priority meant, right?
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Cool. So while people are voting again for the back pay options so that they're correct, why don't we go ahead and start checking out? Does that sound good? Okay, I guess we're just gonna wait for people to finish voting, so I don't know if I have any questions. Uma, are you gonna vote? I guess Uma is gone, huh?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, so I think we are done. So, anyways, that definitely clarified that we have less compromise than we originally thought we did. So the back pay goes all the way down to 5, which is pretty low on the list. So our top priority is just not doing any bells work, which is not surprising because people don't particularly want to do work. Yeah. So it looks like we're in less of a good place than we thought we were. So baseline to review accounting to increase, so that's not particularly. So overall, we are interested in trying to have a balanced budget or a $1,000 in the red, which obviously isn't possible without firing like half of the people. Anyway, so we'll just have to see what happens. I think we just do another round of voting. Hopefully it'll come up, but we have less compromise than we thought we had. But I still think this is a good exercise to at least get a little bit of clarity on where we are as an organization. Okay. So are we ready to check out?
Okay.
That's true.
Okay, Jay. Who wants to check out first? Gloria.
Okay. Um,
Well,
I'll give the
oh,
session. Okay, Jay, go ahead.
you can go first. It's fine. Talk
Time
through.
for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so who wants to check out, please?
Okay, I'll go if no one's gonna go. So what I was gonna say before was that like one of the biggest issues I have with the back pay loophole is that obviously you got little to no work done in the last month. Like nothing's really moving forward. No one's really prioritizing anything. People talk a little bit, but then nothing actually happens. Um, it's like I would be much more inclined to do back pay after we complete all of our payroll. You work on payroll every single day. You make sure the payroll is run. You get everyone paid their full maximum amounts they're supposed to be paid. And then if it's still not enough, then we discuss back pay in the relationship to the budget. But right now we just have like all these payrolls that aren't being run, and then everyone wants their back pay. Plus they want their payroll on top of their back pay. Plus they want their reimbursement on top of their back pay, on top of their payroll. Plus they want more money, and then more money and more money. And it's just like it's just never ending, and it's just always the least possible amount of work for the most maximum amount of money. And that I'm just over with. I just am done with that type of discussion. Check. But I guess I'll try to. I don't think anyone cares about the budget work priorities for the getting ready for tomorrow. So I think I'm basically just on my own unless someone steps up to help with the budget voting for them. Otherwise, I'll just have to do it all by myself again. Okay.
Who's going to go next?
Okay, I'll go next. I'll go next. I'll give the session a 5. Um, I would like to work on payroll and budgets and any other prioritized work, client work. Yeah, that is it. So I would also want the organization to move forward. The whole back and forth is quite draining and demotivating. So I want us to get an agreement and we keep the work going on, because as long as we keep talking and going back and forth, nothing will get done. So we need to stop talking and know what we have to do and then go on to do that. Yeah, check.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So can I
I'm
step in here
gonna.
and say something? Can I say
What did you
something?
say, Jay? What did you say?
Can I say something? I just want to add something.
Yeah.
So I actually disagree with the idea that like if people aren't happy, they don't have to do work. Like, and if people are in a meeting, so they don't have to do work. Like for me, it's like if everybody wants to vote to get rid of all deadlines, get rid of all pay stubs, redo the entire management system, you have to work twice as hard, if not 5 times as hard, because you still have to do all of the work. You still have to do all the client work, and you have to create a whole new management style and model, and you have to do a whole new thing for your deadlines. Like you have to do all of it. And that's what I have to do because of this organization and the way that you guys have all chosen. to make your decisions. I'm working double, triple time. Like I have to work like 40, 50 hours a week because I'm building an entire new organization and support. Plus I have to do all the budget stuff for myself because no one wants to do that. Plus I have to do all the payroll. Plus I have to do, all the client work myself because nobody does any work on the client work, and I have to do all the tax myself. Everything I'm doing it all myself because no one is doing anything. Right? So I have to do double, triple the work, and I have to be in all the meetings, and I have to do, and I have to do, and I have to do all of that. Right? So what I'm hearing from you guys is, oh, because we're trying to get the budget done, I don't have to do any work because I'm already tired and like I lost all my motivation, so I'm not going to do any work. It's like, why are we here? What is going on? Everyone voted to get rid of all the deadlines, get rid of all of the priorities, get rid of all of the pay stubs, get rid of everything and redo everything from scratch. So it's like, that means 2-3 times more work. So we have to do all of the meetings, and we have to do the budget, and we have to do client work, and we have to do all of the extra work has to be done. Otherwise, there's no point to be here. Otherwise, if no one wants to do any work, let's go back to the way things were, and then people can not do all the work they don't want to do, and you just go and pay stop. Right? But it doesn't make sense to me, the idea that people want to create all these new things, vote against a balanced budget, vote against, our management system that's been working for years, and then do less work. It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so I just want to mention that because it's just I have to do double or triple the work because everyone else voted the way they did. And now everyone's saying like, oh, the whole thing got started because of motivation. Oh, we're going to be so much more motivated if we have no pay stops and we have unlimited pay. And it's exactly the opposite from what I see. No one's doing shit. No one's doing shit. No one's doing nothing. There's no one's doing nothing. I'm working twice as hard, if not 3 times as hard, and nobody else is doing hardly anything. And this is all in the name of motivation.
Time to
So
stretch.
people need to take
Please stop.
responsibility for their
Yeah, Jay.
They need responsibility for their actions and need to get to work. Let's do the work. It's hard freaking work to run organizations. It's not easy.
Yeah, Jay, what I mean is that the contention, the back and forth, the contention, everything is draining and demotivating. I'm not talking about um, whatever, I don't know what you thought I said. It's just
I thought
about
you
the
said that you're not going to
contention
do
going
anything.
back
What
and
are you
forth. I
going to do
was like,
between now and
let's
tomorrow?
just let's
That's my
just go
question.
ahead
We have
and
a
do the
May
work.
13th tomorrow. What are you going to be doing between now and tomorrow? What are you going to do in the next week? What are you doing? I heard
Yeah,
that you're
I
not
just
motivated. You're not
mentioned
going to
it.
do anything.
I said I'll be
Okay.
working on payroll, budget, client work, and any other prioritized work. That we should
Okay.
just stop
So
all the
let's
back and
schedule.
forth. The contention is draining and demotivating. That's what I said.
Okay, so maybe I just misunderstood you, and then we need to focus on scheduling, scheduling, scheduling. Let's schedule. There's Cobalt, there's Sonic, and then we can
Yeah.
go on from there. Tomorrow, Hydra, we're doing sponsorship. Check.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go next. Give me session 4. And what time is your sponsorship tomorrow, Jay?
Why?
Can we join? Can I join?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you working? Are you
Mm,
mean? Are you working on sponsorship? You haven't had any interest in sponsorship for I don't even know how long. 6 months. Like, if you want to work on sponsorship, that would be the first thing to say. Not can I join? Like what? Why are you joining?
Okay, I would like to work in sponsorship.
Are you sure? Like what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? What you mean?
You said you want to work in sponsorship. What do you want to do for the sponsorship? Like what is the purpose of coming to the session? Like it doesn't make sense to me that someone suddenly wants to come to a session when they have nothing to do with sponsorship and have not done anything on sponsorship for months, months,
That's
months.
the start. That's the start of my doing sponsorship.
No, the start to you doing sponsorship is for you to take initiative, for you to take responsibility, and for you to schedule. Not for me to take initiative, for me to schedule, and then you just come on my coattails. You understand?
Okay,
You
then
need
no
to take.
need to get angry, LJ. No need to get angry about
I'm
that.
not getting angry. I'm trying to make people understand that taking responsibility means that you are scheduling, that you are initiating it, not me.
Okay, then.
I should be the
Understood.
one who's initiating everything. And everybody seems to want to come to the sponsorship session that I spent hours and
Time to
hours planning
pause.
for
Please
and
stop.
communicating with
Close your
Eternity
eyes.
and trying
Count.
to figure out everything
1,
going on.
2, 3, 4,
Okay then.
5. Open
And it's
your
supposed to
eyes.
be a buddy team with just me, Eternity, and I think Mamoon is coming because Mamoon had already scheduled. And now Atay,
Yeah,
she wants to come. Atay says, Jay, we have sponsorship session with Eternity Thursday. If I'm not missing the date, can we meet to prepare for that Sonic session? So Atay actually wants to prepare for it during Sonic. That sounds like someone who's interested in working on sponsorship. Hey, can we have a session before we meet with the sponsored program to get organized to prepare for the actual session? Do you see the difference between what you're saying, Joyce, and what Atay said?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So let's get prepared. Let's get organized. Let's meet during Sonic. Let's make a plan for the session. But either way, currently it's designed and organized as a buddy team session, and as a team, we can decide who is going to be working on sponsorship, and whoever is the sponsorship primary workers should be present at that meeting. We know 5 people are not going to be working on sponsorship. We all know that. So we don't need 5 people at that meeting. It'll be amazing if one person decides to work on sponsorship, which means working on it every single week, a minimum of an hour and a half a week forever. Not just, oh, let's just go to this one sponsorship meeting and then never work on it ever again for years, which is what seems to be what happens now. But I apologize for getting frustrated about this all, but it's like I'm working really hard. I'm trying to get the sponsorship organized. I'm working with Mel. I'm working with Eternity. I'm communicating. I'm on these emails. I'm trying to follow up with it, make sure that things get scheduled, and nobody else is stepping up to do anything. And now because finally I spent hours and hours scheduling, now people want to get involved. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like people should get involved ahead of time and they should let's schedule for next week's sponsorship. That sounds like a great idea. Let's schedule for next week and the week after that and the week after that and the week after that. To be working on sponsorship every single week.
yeah. I'd like to check out.
Yeah, go for it.
I'd give the session 6. Uh, been working on. Will be working on budget, taxes, payroll, and recruitment. Also,
And what?
look forward to the budget options voting. Yeah. Al- Also, I'm not
Count.
going
Breath.
to
Take
available at
time. Get
Sonic
ready.
because
Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
been working on from Hydra to right. So I will not available at Sonic. May, is that okay? Because
That's fine.
I
Yeah,
will
cool.
have I will have session at Hydra with the sponsorship Eternity with it Eternity.
Yeah, and that could change depending on what the team decides in relationship to the sponsorship session. I had no idea anyone was even interested in sponsorship at all. And now it's like 5 people want to come to this session. So we'll have to figure out who should be the best person who wants to
Yeah.
really take on the sponsorship relationship with the programs. Huh?
Yeah, Jay, it would be good that the new workers join so that we can, see what working on doing client work is all about. We can learn from what
No,
you're
this is
doing
this
already.
is one
So
of
I don't
dozens of
know.
client work. It's like that's why we record everything. If people want to take the work seriously, the work is making sure we're recording it and indexing it properly and getting it available to people to be able to watch if they choose to do so, right? This is a
Yeah,
buddy team session. This is
it's
not a
fine.
main session, right? We can't have 6 people at the
That's fine.
session.
That's fine.
The primary goal is to support the program. So whatever we can do to support the program, If they want to do a double team and have a bunch of people there observing or whatever, they can do that. But if they don't feel comfortable with that, it's not necessary. Or they can come to a main session, but they chose to schedule at Andromeda, no, Hydra Hour 3. So that's in tomorrow. But it's like, if everybody's available, why is there not 5 sessions during Hydra tomorrow? That's what I don't understand. Let's have 5 buddy teams during Hydra tomorrow because everyone's available. Like
Yeah,
suddenly everybody's available for Hydra,
It's
yet
fine.
day, day, week after week,
It's fine with
nobody's
me.
available to schedule and do work during Hydra. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like if people are available for Hydra, who cares about this session that's happening with Eternity? Come to Hydra 2-3 times a week and let's schedule and get priorities going on for Friday, Saturday, for Saturday, Sunday, for Monday, Tuesday, for Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's schedule 5 more sessions for Hydra if people are available. Can someone do that?
Sure.
Just silence or what? What was my answer? I'm asking
yeah,
if people are available for Hydra.
Time to
My
pause.
request is
We
schedule.
I just answered. I
yeah,
said sure.
Hydra,
One,
Sure.
two,
Okay.
Hydra.
Good.
three, four, five.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. So,
Then
so the
do
main thing that
multiple
needs to
bits.
change in this organization, if we want to be successful, is it all starts with scheduling and showing up for sessions, which currently is very rare. So there should be many scheduling attempts per day, with ideally multiple one-time buddy team sessions happening both in Old World and in New World. That would be a good start. And not to wait for me to schedule. Don't wait for someone else to schedule. Everyone should be directly communicating and scheduling on Discord every single day, or if not, at least 2 to 3 times a week. That's like the starting point. Without that, like nothing is going to happen. It's not going to have anything else moving forward. Check. Did everyone check out? Did Uma ever come back? Okay, so I think we're done, right?
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'll be checking out.
okay,
Yeah,
take
I think we're
care.
done.
Thank
So
you.
is anyone doing anything for
Yeah. Bye.
Cobalt? What's Cobalt time? Cobalt
Okay.
is, oh, Cobalt's in 10 minutes, so we're way over. So are we just not doing Cobalt? We're just doing Sonic, or anyways, just schedule on Discord, please. I would beg, but I feel like it's probably wouldn't help. So I'm just gonna ask again politely and professionally, please schedule on Discord for either Cobalt and or Sonic every day forever.